The galaxy had long agreed on one universal truth: violence was a language best spoken sparingly. Empires rose and fell not by brute force alone, but by treaties, trade routes, and carefully measured threats. For centuries, the concord of systems enforced this balance, a sprawling interstellar assembly where even ancient war species learned to sheath their claws, at least in public. Humans were new to this arrangement. They came from a small, unremarkable spiral arm, from a planet the Concord scientists labeled simply and ominously Class 12 Deathworld. High gravity, unstable tectonics, predatory megafauna, atmospheric volatility. A place where life survived not through harmony, but through relentless adaptation. The humans called it Earth. Most species expected Deathworlders to be savage, short-lived, and incapable of cooperation. Humans defied that expectation in the most unsettling way possible. They were calm, diplomatic, curious. They smiled often and laughed easily, even among creatures who considered exposed teeth as a threat display. This made the galaxy nervous. So when the Varkal Dominion demanded humanity's presence at the high concourse of Relos, few believed it would end peacefully. The Varkal were conquerors by doctrine. Towering, four-armed beings encased in natural armor, their culture revolved around strength proven through dominance. At their head stood Warlord Voxer, a veteran of 100 planetary subjugations, his carapace etched with ritual scars and victory glyphs. Voxer despised diplomacy. He tolerated it only because the Concord forced his claw. The humans sent a single representative, Commander Elias Wren. He was average by human standards, broad-shouldered but not imposing, hair dark and cropped short, face lined not by age, but by experience. He wore no visible weapons, only the simple uniform of the Terran Expeditionary Corps, adorned with a small blue and green emblem of Earth. To Voxer, he looked fragile. The concourse chamber was vast, a hollowed sphere of obsidian alloy floating above Relo's molten core. Representatives hovered or perched on gravity platforms, surrounded by holographic star maps and translation fields. The air vibrated with low-frequency hums tailored to accommodate dozens of species. Voxer rose to his full height, armor plates clicking as he turned his many eyes toward the human. "So," the warlord growled, his voice translated into harsh but comprehensible tones, "this is the Deathworlder." Elias Wren inclined his head slightly. "Commander Elias Wren, Terran Union. I'm here to discuss peaceful integration and mutual defense agreements." A ripple of amusement passed through the chamber. A Voxer stepped closer, looming over the human. "You stand before the Dominion unarmed," he said. "Either your kind is foolish or suicidal." Elias met his gaze evenly. "We find weapons tend to complicate conversations." That earned a hiss of contempt. The warlord's mandibles flexed. "Your species has spread faster than predicted," he said. "You claim colonies, forge alliances, and smile as if the universe owes you something. The Dominion wishes to correct that misunderstanding." Several Concord delegates shifted uneasily. This was not the language of negotiation. Elias sensed it too. "With respect, Warlord Voxer, humanity has no interest in." The slap came without warning. One of Voxer's massive arms lashed out, striking Elias across the face with enough force to shatter stone. The sound cracked through the chamber like a thunderclap. Elias was thrown sideways, skidding across the platform and crashing into a low barrier. Gasps echoed. Some delegates recoiled. Others watched with grim fascination. Voxer straightened, satisfied. "This," he declared, "is how the Dominion greets upstarts." For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then Elias Wren stood. Slowly. He wiped a thin line of blood from his lip and adjusted his jaw with a small, deliberate motion. His eyes were no longer diplomatic. They were cold, focused, ancient in a way no one had expected. Ambassadorial immunity violated, Elias said quietly. Physical assault confirmed. The chamber fell silent. Croth-Voxer laughed, a deep, booming sound. And what will you do, Deathworlder? File a complaint. Elias tapped a small device at his wrist. Mark, he said calmly, you're clear. For exactly 5 seconds, the galaxy watched a human move. What followed would be studied in military academies for centuries. Elias crossed the distance between them faster than most species could track. Human muscles, evolved under crushing gravity, unleashed power refined by decades of combat doctrine. His hand struck Croth-Voxer's primary joint with surgical precision. Armor cracked. The Warlord roared as 2 of his arms went numb. Before Croth could react, Elias vaulted upward, using the Varkal's own mass as leverage. A concealed blade snapped into existence from his forearm, standard issue, monomolecular, illegal in most systems. Deathworlders, Elias said, voice steady. Don't posture. The blade flashed once. Croth-Voxer's roar cut off abruptly. His massive body remained standing for half a second longer before collapsing. His head, severed cleanly at the neck, tumbled from the platform, spinning slowly as artificial gravity failed to claim it. It drifted outward, eyes still wide, mandibles frozen mid-snarl. The chamber erupted into chaos. Alarms wailed. Delegates shouted. Security drones froze mid-response, their threat algorithms overwhelmed by the suddenness of it all. Elias landed lightly beside the corpse and deactivated the blade. He turned, scanning the room. Let the record show, he said, addressing the Concord, that humanity acted in self-defense. No one contradicted him. The aftermath was immediate and far-reaching. Within hours, footage of the incident spread across the galaxy. Analysts replayed it frame by frame, slowing it down, enhancing it, trying to understand how a supposedly fragile species had neutralized one of the Dominion's greatest warlords in seconds. They learned about human reflexes, about muscle density, about pain tolerance and adrenal thresholds that bordered on the absurd. They learned about Earth's history. Wars fought with sticks, then stones, then fire. Predators hunted not by strength alone, but by endurance. A species that survived ice ages, plagues, meteors, and itself. They learned that humans didn't evolve to dominate the universe. They evolved to survive it. The Varkal Dominion reeled. Without Croth-Voxer, internal power struggles erupted. Several conquered systems rebelled, emboldened by the sudden vulnerability of their overlords. Within a year, the Dominion fractured into warring factions. Humanity did not exploit this. Instead, they offered aid, mediation, reconstruction teams. That unsettled the galaxy even more. Commander Elias Wren was recalled to Earth and quietly promoted. He never gave interviews. When asked about the incident, he responded with the same line every time. I asked for peace. Years later, a monument was erected in the concourse chamber. Not of Elias. Not even of Croth-Voxer. It was a simple inscription, translated into every known language. Do not mistake restraint for weakness. The galaxy remembered. From that day forward, no species ever struck a human in anger again because they finally understood the truth. Deathworlders were not dangerous because they loved violence. They were dangerous because they had mastered it and chose not to use it unless forced. And the stars were quieter for it.